Hello, it's Drew here from Drew's Crochet, and today we're going to make an amigurumi heart. Now a heart is great on its own. You can make a keyring or put it in a mobile, or it looks even better if you put it on something, say an elephant, or perhaps a mouse. But anyhow, today we are going to make our own cute heart. Now for this you're going to need a pair of scissors, obviously wool. I just use natural DK wool. You're going to need a stitch marker, a crochet hook, which is a 4mm. You're going to need a darning needle and a bit of stuffing. Now, I'm going to go through the whole pattern with you, and at the end I'll put up the pattern, the written pattern, so you can follow that through if you want to. But right now, let's get into it. We're going to start off with a magic ring, which I presume you know how to do it, but I'll just show you. So I do it by making an X, pulling it under. You don't want to make these stitches too tight because then it's easier for the next row. So I secure it with a chain. Now we want to do 6 stitches into the base. So that's 1, 2. Now I go by American terminology, so I do single crochet. But if you're doing English terminology, this will be a double crochet. I think that's 5, and this will be 6. Okay. So pull that round, don't pull it too tight. Okay, so the next round we want to do is to increase it to 9 stitches. So that will simply be a single crochet into the first one. So find your first V and put it in there. I think I've done that a bit tight. There we go. So that's 1 single crochet there, and then in the next one you increase. So that simply means 2 stitches into the next one. So that's an increase. That's 3. Now you want to repeat that 3 times in total. Well, actually you repeat it twice, so you do it 3 times for the whole round. So that's 1. This will be the second increase, and once more to give us 9 stitches in the second round. Okay, now once you've done that, then you can pull that tight, so your magic circle will be tight. Okay, so the third round we're going to increase again and make it into 15 stitches, which simply means doing 2 single crochets followed by a double. That's 1, 2, and then followed by an increase, rather, excuse me. So 1 and 2, that's 2 into the same stitch. Now you want to do that 3 times in total in the round to give you 15 stitches. So 1 and 2, 3. It will give you 12 stitches, in fact. Getting ahead of myself, aren't I? So 1 and 2, and the last one to increase to 12 will be there. Alright, so we're starting to get the base of our heart there. Don't worry about the tail, it just goes inside. So in round 3, this is when we're increasing to 15, so you want to do 3 single crochets followed by an increase, and you want to do that 3 times in the whole round. So I'll go and do that very quickly. Now we have 15. Going on to the 4th round, we're increasing again to 18, which will simply mean doing 4 single crochets followed by an increase, and repeat that 3 times for the whole round. So now we've got 18 stitches. We want to increase it again in the next round up to 21. So that simply means doing 5 single crochets followed by the increase 3 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then increase in the next stitch and do it again. And then increase. So now we've got 21 stitches, and in the next round, instead of increasing, we want to consolidate that and just do a whole round of single crochets. So that will be 21 crochets. Okay, round 7, we want to increase stitching up to 24 stitches. So that will be simply mean 6 single crochets followed by an increase, and we want to do that 3 times in the round. The last increase on this round here, and that gives us 24 stitches. Now again, we want to make our heart a bit taller, so we're going to do another round of single crochets all the way around, so that's 24. That's 24. Right, for the last row in the base, we want to increase the stitches up to 30. That simply means doing 3 single crochets and increasing 6 times in the round. So we'll just get to and do that. Okay, so that is now 30 stitches, and that is our base. We've finished the base of our heart. What we want to do now is do the 2 little bumps on top, and we're going to just continue on with this base. Put a stitch marker in your first stitch, like so. Just hang it in there, doesn't matter. Now what we want to do is we're going to single crochet 15 stitches. That's all we're going to do. So that's half of the base. Now what we want to do is chain 3, 1, 2, 3, because that will go across, and you now need to slip stitch back into that first stitch, so that will create the base of our first bump for our heart. So that's just a slip stitch. Like so. So now we want to concentrate on this bump here. We've got 18 stitches because we've put another 3 in here for the chain, and we're going to just single crochet around that to consolidate our 18 stitches. So stick that out for the moment because we know where we're going. So I'll meet you back here when you've done those 18 stitches. We're back here having done 18 stitches round. Now we want to start decreasing the bump. So we want to come down to 15 stitches in this round, which will simply mean single crocheting 4 and then doing this indivisible decrease. So we want to go 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now an invisible decrease is just simply taking the front loop of the next 2 stitches and then just completing a single crochet, and that's a decrease. Now you want to repeat that 2 times more in this round to get us down to 15 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and a decrease. Now when you do an invisible decrease, it can be difficult sometimes once you've done it to know which stitch to go into next. And if you have that problem, all you need to do is just put your thumb on that next stitch before you do this next bit here, and then you'll know just exactly where you need to go into next. So I've got my thumb on that stitch and now I need to go into that one next. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, and the last decrease for this round is coming up, and then that will give us 15 stitches in this round. Remember, put your thumb on that because you know that'll be the next stitch you want to go into, and then just finish that off. Okay, for our next round we want to decrease again and make 12 stitches, which simply means doing 3 single crochets with a decrease 3 times. Now that gives us 12 stitches, and now all we have to do, you can see that our bump is coming up quite nicely. Now we just want to reduce those 12 stitches to 6, and that simply means decreasing 6 times. Six stitches left, that's our bump of the first thing. Now what you want to do is just snip the wool, pull that through as you would. Now we're going to finish off that hole there, and to make it like an invisible finish, which just simply means threading a wool needle. I don't know if you know how to do this. If you do, great. If you don't, just watch this. All you have to do is pick up the front loop of every stitch that's left in that round, which will just be 6. So just get the front loop there. And that last one there. Now give it a good pull. It comes together. Now you want to take your needle through the centre hole and pull that out. Give it a nice tap. And that finishes it off beautifully. Now secure the wool inside, very simple, like so. Make sure it is secure so it's not just suddenly going to unravel. That's it, this will do it. And then we're ready to do our second hump. Now you just push the end in there because we're going to stuff our heart next. So if you look at that, that's the first bump of our heart finished. So all we need now is a bit of stuffing. Like so. Make sure you get him down exactly where you need all the stuffing. You can't open it up afterwards. Right, so when you've got the heart exactly as you want it and filled as much as you need with stuffing and so forth, all we're going to do for the second bump, is pick up these 18 stitches which are left on this side, and then we're going to repeat what we did with this bump on this side. Now you want to attach the wool, so make a slip knot. Just simply attach that, and then you want to single crochet 18 stitches around, which is what will be left on this side. And I'll meet you back here when you've done 18 stitches. Okay, so we're back here. Now we simply want to repeat what we did with the first bump, which will be to reduce these 18 stitches down to 15, then the next row down to 12, and I'll meet you back here because then we're going to top up the stuffing. Excellent. At this point, having got 12 stitches left, you're going to want to top up your stuffing for the last bump in the heart. So put a bit more in there, fill it as far as you want to go. Stuff out a bit. And then to finish off our bump, we're simply going to repeat what we did on the first bump. And that will be simply decreasing our stitches down to 6 and then finishing off with the yarn needle. Get a lot in there because you know you can. There, that's good, feels okay. So now I want to take my heart and decrease 6 times around this round. Once we've done that, I'll meet you back here. Okay, that was our last stitch. So you now simply want to cut your yarn, pull it through, get your yarn needle. Once you've got your needle threaded, now you're simply going to do the same thing again, finish off invisibly. So you go to the outside of each stitch, put your needle through, go right way around the top, and then once you've done that, you want to go down into the centre and come out anywhere, doesn't really matter, but you want to pull it tight, so it's going to be just like the other one. Then you want to finish off this, so you might just want to grab one thread there, put your needle through, just to secure it, then push that back in so no one ever sees it. And once you've done that, cut off the ends, and that is a beautiful amigurumi heart. And as I promised at the beginning of the video, here's the pattern written down.